lot. They're able to find the gaps in that defense against Carmel, and that's why they're so good offensively. And they've got a lot of guys on both sides of the ball here tonight that can put the ball in the goal.
In addition to that, 7 goals in that fourth quarter. They're up by only 1 going into that last period on Monday night to finish that one out. Well, let's focus first on the visitors tonight. So St. Joe is coached by Sam Margulis, and his message to us when we talked to him on the phone was they just need to take care of business. This is their opportunity to prove what they've got. They've done so well through these first 5 games. What do they have to do tonight to penetrate this Hamilton Southeastern?
By far their biggest test of any game they played so far this season. And I was curious when you said you talked to the coach about what they were going to do defensively and in goal, and they're going to rotate 3 different goalkeepers. That's unusual to see. As you said, he's trying to find that one guy who's going to step up for him. So I guess at least from that standpoint, he's not totally satisfied with what he sees in goal yet, but he's going to find out tonight because they're going to be definitely tested by this offense on the Hamilton Southeastern side. The other point I think you look at tonight is they're playing yet another game. This is the second in his 3 days they've played now, so they made that long bus ride. I know 2 hours isn't a lot to a lot of folks, but when you're playing and you get on the bus, you come down here, you get ready, you get back on the bus, and then you play again tomorrow, all that can wear down on you. So how much will they have in the legs in this one here tonight? Because you know as well as I do, this is a Hamilton Southeastern team, as I call them. They're kind of a NASCAR offense. They get down the track really fast, and you're going to have to stay with them, because if you don't, and your defensemen that are on the backside are really going to be challenged here tonight.
We're going to get back to Hamilton Southeastern after the break, but first, a quick sponsor read for us. St. Joseph High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for college and careers. Thanks to school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjoehigh.com. We'll be right back for our preview of Hamilton Southeastern here on IndianaSRN. St. Joseph High School is a Catholic honor roll school that prepares students for life. Graduates are faithful, resilient, and ready for their future. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjoehigh.com. Well, before we get set into the national anthem, Troy, let's quickly talk about Hamilton Southeastern defeating their rival Carmel 13-6 the other night. Coach Scott Beasley told us again, that was exactly how they wanted it to go, but they were battling for a long time. They're going to have to battle again here tonight. How are they going to do that?
Well, they will, and the one thing about when you look at that Carmel matchup that you had a chance to finish the other day, as you said, they had to go into that last period to really get some separation, but Carmel is a very, very good team. We know that. We've seen them, and they won a lot of face-offs that night. One thing about tonight is I think if you win the face-off, I don't think that they played as well in the face-off area against Carmel as they wanted to, and I think that's a big key. I think they're at about 51% in their face-off percentage going in. They've got to be better than that, not just now, but later in the year. That's going to be a big, big key. And you look at South Bend St. Joe, and their face-off percentage is in the high 60s. So they're going to come in favored in that area. So I think that'll be a big key here as well. But I really think that what they can do offensively, their speed and quickness, somehow South Bend St. Joe will have to slow them down.
We shall see. We're going to take a quick break from the national anthem here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Derengowski for this exclusive presentation of Indiana State Lacrosse. So glad to have you with us. Troy, let's dive a little bit deeper into each of these teams, starting with Hamilton Southeastern. Before we get in the face-off, they have two guys, Gavin Wright and Ian Bones, who sort of split time at the face-off X. And right now, Gavin Wright is winning his face-offs at a clip of 61%, Bones of 40%, but on the opposite side, St. Joe has a guy in Jack Tobolski that is just insane at the face-off X, winning at 71%.
Yeah, it's nuts the way he is playing in the face-off, and unfortunately he didn't win that one. So Hamilton Southeastern offense first. Now let's see what happens defensively. Keep an eye on, again, what's going to happen in goal here to start for South Bend St. Joe.
The HSE offense has been a force all year because of guys like that. Loudon Sunling right away getting it started.
Well, we talked about the penetration that you get, and the one thing that they allowed to happen, speaking of South Bend St. Joe, is they allowed a great angle right there, and they left the keeper all by himself. Now, I know that Tog White's pretty good in there, but you got to help him defensively, and that's a really big goal early for this Hamilton Southeastern team.
What's so interesting, too, Loudon Sunling, when you talk to Scott Beasley, he's one of the hardest working guys, if not the hardest working guy, on this Royals team. And he says that his improvement from moving more from midfield to attack and preferably at the X position has just been insane. And he gets us started off on the right foot.
Well, he has 12 assists, too, and so he's one of those guys that you really look to get you into the offense and set you up for good shots.
Ball bounces around a bit and eventually finds itself in the stick of Antonio Morel. Morel, 17 points this year. He's the assist man. He's got 10 already in 5 games. Tobolski trying to drive through. Ball was jarred loose, and it's picked up by Quincy Grace.
And that'll be something South Bend St. Joe will have to do. They had really good scoring position and opportunity right there. Didn't get a shot off and a turnover as we head the other way.
But if that tells you anything, it just goes to show what exactly Coach Margulis wants to do is try to get that pressure right inside where Hamilton Southeastern's defenders are not.
Well, I think this is a big possession, too. I mean, it'll only be 2-0 if Hamilton Southeastern would score here, but the one thing you don't want to do is get down early because Hamilton Southeastern, they're the type of team that they can bury you really quickly because they get a couple of quick goals on you, you're going to be in big trouble, so you've got to defend them well here.
Michael Metaliano dishes it back behind X to Sunling.
See, look at their spacing. They do a very good job of spacing and to spread that defense, find the lanes to find an opening, and that's what they do really well, and that's what won him a state championship last year.
Off the post, Loudon Sunling once again was trying his hand. That one had some heat behind it. They're going to try again. This is going to be saved. Great job hanging in there by White and track that ball.
Yeah, White, man, now you got to get it out. They didn't clear it well enough.
Sundling is going to be very opportunistic to take this one to the rack.
Clearing is going to be another key, and I know I say that Mr. Obvious here tonight, but the one thing you cannot do against Hamilton Southeastern, we've seen them enough. If you don't clear and do it clean and your goalkeeper gets caught out of position, you're going to be in big trouble, and their defenseman unable to get it out of there and get in transition, and now you're down 2-0.
And one thing Coach Margulis did say, in order to be the best, we have to beat the best, right? And it's little things like that he mentioned. Hey, you know what? Our clears have been great this year.
Yeah.
We have to be sound. And maybe this is just an area where just initial, I mean, you get your first few little tweaks out here and there in the first few minutes. We'll see. Ian Bones wins this face-off on the transition break. Garrett Smith makes one dodge, and that's going to be the third goal for Hamilton Southeastern.
Too easy off the face-off. And the other thing, and I'll point one other thing that Coach Margulis said, is that they've got to force Hamilton Southeastern to shoot from the outside. And we're talking about 20 yards and out, not anything that's within 10 and 5 yards. And you just cannot do that, and they win it easy off the face-off. So now the thing that was a strength for the South Bend St. Joe team in the face-off, they got to win more of those.
Tobolski's going to take a rest so that Connor Jackson can get out there. HSE is going to pick this one up. That is Dylan O'Rourke. So far, possessions dominated by Hamilton Southeastern.
And, of course, you have a line change here as you wait for your teammates to get back out on the field. You were a little bit short-handed right there for Hamilton Southeastern. They were a little late coming out, but you see they have that experience. And, you know, we'll set it up, we'll wait, get our things, get the shot we want to have right here. And they play well behind the cage, too. I mean, you really have to keep your head on a swivel to know where that guy is down there near the end line. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt.
On an outside. That's going to be a save. Great job by Tog White to focus on that one.
Yeah, that was destined to go in, and White did a great job keeping focused, knowing exactly where the ball was. Now you need something in transition the other way, and that's going to be a turnover. If I'm not mistaken, that'll be their second turnover here in the first couple of minutes. So they need to get something back in the attack zone, try to get a clean look in their next possession.
A lot of bodies out here on the ride for South Bend St. Joe. And the Indians, who find themselves down 3-0 early, just have to get something going, get in a little groove here.
Well, get a stop right here, and you're feeling better at 3-0 still here in the opening period of play. But get a stop and then get back on offense and really try to develop something as quickly as you can. And there's a good play right there.
Yeah, Garrett Smith defended well by Austin Futa.
So what you see the Royals doing right now, look, they have everybody out 15 yards or so, 10 yards out, and then they're going to attack in, so it leaves a lot of open space right in front of the goal.
Sundling tried the basically the no look. That's been awfully popular in the college game too, and you see a lot of these kids are trying to model their game after guys who are doing it at the next level.
Well, I watched Rutgers and Duke the other day, and a Rutgers kid shot it between his legs and wasn't even looking and scored, so it just shows you how talented some of these young men are.
It's crazy, and as the sport grows, it's only going to become even more impressive. Bouncer goes wide of the cage. Luke Eggers on that shot. This senior-laden Hamilton Southeastern team is, I mean, you could talk about one thing, experience, right?
Yeah,
All of them have played at least multiple games at the varsity level. But then you look at this St. Joe squad, mostly juniors, and it's just impressive. This ball does go past Tog White's feet, and it's going to be a bounced-in shot to extend the lead to 4 for Hamilton Southeastern.
Well, they've got off to a good start, and when you look at how South Bend St. Joe, when you look at all of their games this year, they've gotten off to the fast start. They really have dominated in that opening period, and now we're going to see, and I know that their coach is going to look and see how they react to this, being down 4-0 this early in the contest. But you got to remember, again, as he said, if they're going to be the best in 1A, they're going to have to beat good teams because they know when they get into the playoffs, it's going to be equally tough. And I think whether they win, lose, draw, whatever the case is tonight, the experience of playing the defending champions in 2A is going to be really big for them.
That it is. And by the way, Caleb Johnson with the credit on that last goal. We're going to take a quick break here on Indiana SRN, the only place you could find Indiana high school lacrosse.
Needing to hire someone to take care of your loved one when you're away? Maybe your family member just needs someone to talk to when you're not around. Why not contact Indiana licensed Serenity Care Services? Call Angela, owner of Serenity Care Services, at 317-900-6202. Our team of trained and experienced personal care providers are licensed to serve seniors requiring companion care and light housekeeping services in Indianapolis and its 5 surrounding counties. Call us today at 317-900-6202. Now hiring qualified applicants.
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern, where the Royals lead the Indians 4-0. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Darengowski. We have not a single drop of rain quite yet, Troy.
Oh, there you go.
That's great news.
You know, that's like telling the free throw shooter he's shooting 90%, you know, and he's got 2 shots and he misses them both. You know,
I don't think broadcaster jigs follows for weather.
You don't think
as
so?
much as it does in the basketball court, that's
okay,
for sure.
All right.
Well, let's take a second to hear from our great sponsors in St. Joseph, actually. St. Joseph High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for college and their career. Thanks to school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjoehigh.com. They also would like to tell you St. Joseph High School is a Catholic honor roll school that prepares students for life. Graduates are faithful, resilient, and ready for their future. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjoehigh.com.
You know, I don't get a chance to go to South Bend much anymore. My son was there working in TV, then he got out of it and moved to Indianapolis, and so I don't get a chance to go back.
Well,
always enjoyed it up there.
The great news is we will be able to go up there at some point soon.
Yeah. You and I are going? Or?
Well, that's what I was told.
Really?
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Well, here we go. St. Joe now trying to penetrate to get their first goal. Joseph Sarator was trying to get into that HSE defense.
Well, that's not going to be easy because, as you know, Hamilton Southeastern can be very physical, and they got a lot of seniors, and so they're a lot bigger in areas on the field. In fact, Coach Margula said the very same thing. They're bigger than we are when you talk about box to box, so we got to stay in our lanes. And the other thing he mentioned, which I thought was very interesting, is that they got to be better on their clears, and so far that hasn't been the case tonight. So the scouting report is really good tonight coming in.
Well, not to mention, just taking care of that lacrosse ball is very important. Sarator at the door. That's going to be saved by Kreckler. There is a penalty on the ground.
You know what I like about the college officials is that when they make a call, I know he's going over there, but I think he ought to come over here and talk to us, don't you? I mean, he ought to have a microphone on or something. We could hear the call.
I'd love to have some comms with the referee.
Yeah, is that too much to ask?
No. It's not. Well, again, it's not like basketball where he can just come up and tell you what exactly happened, right?
Yeah.
I believe what we saw was an illegal screen, and this is going to be. Oh, beg your pardon. There's actually going to be a slash on Hamilton Southeastern. On Nolan Canese, one of the captains for this squad. So Hamilton Southeastern is a man down.
Well, this is big then. If you take an opportunity of another team being a man down, then you really need to do so with this opportunity right here, down 4-0.
They gave up 2 goals to Carmel when they were a man down. So this is opportunistic for South Bend St. Joe.
Well, in Hamilton Southeastern, you see right now, though, they're playing man-to-man ready. They're packing it in. They're not allowing anything to get inside that 20. At least if they do, it's not going to be easy.
Working around Zach Yergler. Finding his man up top. Flynn Leonard, and that is going to be saved by Kreckler.
You know, Kreckler's very good up and down, and you always talk about getting up high for a goal or a shot on goal is tough, but he's good both ways.
Here's Gastineau. Illegal procedure. This looks like a substitution error on the better part of Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, that was blown immediately. They saw it right there. In fact, you saw the official go back, pick it up at around the 45, so it was a good call. But you still have man-up opportunity right here.
You do for at least another. Actually, I think this is full strength here.
Oh, they're going to go. Okay. Yeah, just now, because he was just kneeling over there a little bit ago, so he was still in the penalty area, so now they should be even strength. You're right.
I think that clock may have run out. Coach Shefferly chatting with the referee out there to discuss what might have happened. Obviously, you want to fix that up if you're Hamilton Southeastern and your substitutions. So here's a clear attempt for St. Joe. Bringing it up now. Theo Mager, he's going to toss it over to his teammate. Oh, tough ride here from the Royals. And it's going to be picked up by Morrell.
Well, the one thing you'll see Hamilton Southeastern do on defense, they're not going to let you get those hands free very often. And they got a stick on you, they got a body on you, so it really is going to be tough for South Bend St. Joe. If they're going to get a clean look, they need a little bit of space to work with. And Hamilton Southeastern defensively, they're on your hands all the time.
That they are. A couple good checks there to jar the ball loose by Hayden Holmes. And Hamilton Southeastern's on the attack now. Sunling going to fire, and that shot was interfered with as he let it go.
Yeah, he had a pretty good look there. I'm not sure he had all the steam on it he wanted to, but he got a good leg into it. Would have had his third goal of the night already. But I'll tell you what, when you're up 4-0, you don't mind making a few. I wouldn't say that was a gamble. I thought it was a really good shot. You don't mind taking a shot like that at this stage of the game.
Down low at the X, over to Garrett Smith. What a great save by White.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Smith had a great look that time, and it was a nice job making the save there by White. We've seen him save a couple of really nice shots so far, but then there's a turnover right there. And again, those are possessions you're giving up to the other team that they normally wouldn't have. And we see in most sporting events, you do that, you're probably going to end up getting burned at some point.
A bit uncharacteristic by this squad. Oh, what a goal by Loudon Sunling as he's falling down. It does count. Penalty to be determined if it's going to be unreleasable or releasable given the goal.
Well, I think that the defenseman ended up hitting him with his stick up around the head area as he was going down. As you take a look at it right there. But, boy, Sunling did a great job. Body control, shot low on that one, and he's already got 3 goals here tonight, so he's playing well. You know, one thing when you look at South Bend St. Joe, and they were writing in their scouting report of how the Royals will spread you out. That's hard to defend when you're giving up lanes like that, and you got to stay on your guy, but you want to go help. But you know if you do, Hamilton Southeastern is such a good passing team that if you go help out, you might be in trouble because your guy's wide open from 15 yards out. So it's kind of like pick your poison, what do I do? So that's why your keeper's really going to have to be on top of his game the rest of the night.
That, and occasionally they'll have another attackman just kind of place himself right in the middle to sort of cause a disruption as well.
Well, so far, no disruptions in this Hamilton Southeastern offense. So I'll be curious to see what Coach Margulis does now when he goes back to another keeper and you bring somebody in that's kind of watched the action. There are some guys who come off the bench and play really well, and there are other guys who like to start, get in the flow of the game very quickly as they move a photographer who is down taking pictures down on the end line. So that's what that delay was all about.
Got it. You got to be careful. I mean, the net is there for a reason. You can get your lens right through the hole there, you hope.
Or you're going to get a hole in your head, something, because those shots are going to come in there pretty hard and quick.
Yeah, I hope not. Loudon Sunling behind X. Feeds Runo. And it's another goal for the Royals.
Well, he had a great look, and that's one of those deep shots that you think, how in the world he's going to make that? But he got a lot of steam on that shot. It was coming in there, and you're going to take a really good look at it right here. And that's hard to react to. Look how he's nearly 20 yards out. So that's a great shot.
Bit of a late slide there by Charlie Eckrich, one of the captains on this team. And it ends up giving Runo some space to work and send that one through. HSE out to an early lead.
Well, they win another face-off here. And again, that was one of the strengths for South Bend St. Joe coming in, was their ability to win the – there's a nice pass, I'll tell you what. Quincy Grace behind the back right there. But South Bend St. Joe's been so good at winning the face-offs that so far tonight that has not been what has been their strength, so they got to find a way to overcome that throughout the rest of the night.
Sunling tried to rifle that one to Nolan Canese, the long stick, to try to get him a goal. I agree with you. And here's the thing, too. This HSE team has played so many out-of-state teams, right?
Yeah.
They've seen talent of all across the board. And they are now feeling more seasoned. They're sitting at 3-3, demanding not another loss. You have to demand wins if you're the Royals at this point, and they're playing very, very sound lacrosse right now.
Well, they are, and playing that tough schedule, as you said, makes a big difference. Whether you win or lose, those games really don't matter at this stage, because the bottom line is you want to play really good teams. That's the same thing with South Bend St. Joseph. Bottom line is they come down here and they're going to play. Win, lose, or draw, they know they got to play good teams if they're going to get better.
Trying to feed Garrett Smith at the top of the crease was Caleb Johnson. Smith's foot was actually in the crease, so that's going to be a violation. And it will give St. Joe a chance to clear.
Well, it's a good thing because Sunling had another pretty good look at his fourth goal, possibly.
Yeah, he did. Love the baby blue uniforms we got going on here for the Indians here.
It's like North Carolina, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
And they're very good at lacrosse, by the way. Now, they're not Duke. I'm not a Duke fan.
Well, the Duke-Carolina matchup coming up here for March Madness is going to be a lot of fun, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. The lacrosse one is just as fun.
Well, you look at all of those really good collegiate men's teams. I haven't watched as much women this year as have men. Michigan played the other day in Amoy's for Michigan, as you know.
Right, of course.
They have they're not as good as they probably need to be right now in the Big Ten, but there's a lot of very good teams out there. That men's Division I is going to be tough to call the rest of the way.
That it is. A lot of teams that have shown up quite randomly, really. I mean, Jacksonville, you think about the Jacksonvilles and the Utahs of the world that are fresh programs pretty much, and they're making some noise. It's very fun to see the sport grow like that.
Well, and it is, and in the state of Indiana as well, even at the Division III level, you see a lot of teams have picked up programs over the last couple of years, and that shot goes a little bit wide.
On the rebound, though, great recovery by Morrell to get in front of that cage. She sends it a little bit wide.
You know, the one thing, if I were a coach, and certainly getting out of the business was one of the best things for me, is that you've got so many good programs in the state of Indiana, you really don't have to leave or go very far if you want to really keep some Indiana kids in your program.
Yard sale check there by Nolan Canese, giving St. Joe some trouble. He's defending Morrell hard. Cross pass. Shot. That one wide. Kreckler trying to chase after it to gain possession. Morrell is right back there.
Boy, he is so good. We watched him last year. We've seen him this year. He just does so good, as I said before, playing up and down. He can go down. He can be as quick up, and that makes a huge difference when you're in the net.
64 saves on the season coming into this one. Sarator checked away, and that is going to conclude our first quarter. It is all royal blue right now here in Fishers as the Hamilton Southeastern Royals lead 6-0 over the St. Joe Indians. We'll be right back on IndianaSRN, the exclusive showing for Indiana lacrosse.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
St. Joseph High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for college and their careers. Thanks to school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjohigh.com. Also, St. Joseph High School is a Catholic honor roll school that prepares students for life. Graduates are faithful, resilient, and ready for their future. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjohigh.com. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Darengowski. It's all Hamilton Southeastern right now, 6-0. But what we've been able to see towards the end of that first quarter is a bit more penetration by St. Joe.
And that's the key, and they really didn't get that up until later stages of that quarter. So if they plan on getting back into this thing, they've got to have more of that. Didn't win any face-offs other than maybe one early, and other than that, it was all Hamilton Southeastern. You know, the defense for Hamilton Southeastern has kind of forced them out of the lanes they want to play in, so they're going to have to find a way to get back in where they're comfortable. And they're playing from behind now, and that's something they really haven't had to do too much this year because I said earlier, you look at all of their games they played this year, they've gotten out to a very fast start. So now let's see how they react, and I'm going to be curious to see who will be in goal for them here in period number 2. And they got to make sure now, don't give up so many shots on goal this time. Force Hamilton Southeastern out away. Get them deeper, because that's one of the keys that their coach talked about at South Bend St. Joe. Got to force them into long shots.
Tog White performed well, and we are going to get a goalie substitution. We expected this. This is Blake Walker, the junior, and he's done well for this team.
Yeah, White has gotten the majority of the time so far, so now Walker is going to step in and see what he can do here in this second period, and that's what Coach Margulis said. Let's see what our guys are made of and who we can count on the rest of the way, and they want to find that number one, a clear number one when they play really good teams.
Tobolski's going to take this one. He had 5 goals last night against South Bend Adams. Shot that one wide. It's going to be chased down by Sarator.
Yeah, and you know Hamilton Southeastern knows that he scored 5 goals last night, too. I'm also a little bit curious. I thought maybe South Bend St. Joe looked a little bit tired at times in that opening period after playing yesterday, and again, they're going to play tomorrow. You make that road trip. Those aren't excuses. Those are just factors in a game that sometimes maybe, I'm assuming they went to school unless they're on spring break today, but the bottom line is you can be a little fatigued coming out early, and when you're playing at home, you don't have to deal with that.
They did go to school as well, and that's just a heck of a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
They're going to go back tonight and then back again to Westfield tomorrow as that shot goes wide off the stick there of Zach Yergler.
Now, you could do my rule where you slept in class during the day. You didn't have to worry about getting tired in the evening, so... You see where that got me,
You just did that for beauty sleep.
That's right. Yeah,
Kreckler with
that
the
didn't
save.
work either, by the way. So.
Come on now.
They're going to have to really play well, and I'm not sure that when you look at Kreckler, again, he's a big fella too, and he moves very well, has excellent feet down there in the cage, so South Bend St. Joe's going to have to find a way to get him leaning one way and do some misdirection or something to try to get him out of the middle of that goal because he's just so good.
Almost had Quincy Grace for a slam dunk. Drops the pass, sending it over. Great catch by Aiden Dowdle. And here come the Indians. Right past Kreckler. And the first goal for St. Joe is a quick one.
Looked like is that Morrell?
That was Aiden Dowdle, excuse me.
Aiden Dowdle, number 4, not number 3. That was a great job. Now there's an example of South Bend St. Joe doing what I mentioned earlier that Hamilton Southeastern likes to do, that NASCAR offense where you can get down the track really fast. They had numbers, and they did a great job that time of making sure that Kreckler couldn't just stay on one guy because he had a guy to guard on his right and one on his left, and he had to really make sure he was paying attention to both of them.
And all it took, Troy, was just that overcorrection by the defenseman there to try to intercept that pass. Dowdle takes it and runs with it. Maybe that's just what St. Joe needed. Long stick midi here. Anderson Davis is going to take this one. And St. Joe's got to get a touch in the box.
Yeah, now here's a big key. Can they score, as we would say, in the half-court offense? And when you look at that, you're now within the attacking third of this, and now you got to find a way to get that offense rolling here outside of getting those NASCAR runs going.
Here's Sarator. Over top, Morrell. Going to be defended by Knies. And that's not going to help their case. Trying to save it. It's got to be careful there. Sarator back behind X as that ball deflected off his stick.
Yeah, those are what we would consider to be unforced errors right there when you really had a pass he should have brought down. And again, against good teams, I think, boy, you really got to cut down on the mistakes. The more possessions you give another team, and we talked about that in the opening period of play, you just hate to see that. And, boy, you look even in any sport there is, they'll always talk about those turnovers, and they will come back to get you eventually.
Here's Logan Askins. He got the scoring started on Monday night for that continuation game after the rain check for HSC against Carmel. There's Sundling. And as HSC works it around, you think about the way that they move. You see Runo placed in there in between all these guys as Mataliano tries to go to work. Good defense initially, but Mataliano finds the top shelf.
15 goals, I believe, now on the season. What was impressive about that is he slips down first and able to get up and then still get the goal. Kind of remind me of what Sundling did earlier when he got hit. And he went down to the turf as well, still kept his focus and was able to score. These guys are just so talented offensively that they're hard to stop even when they're going down to the turf.
Well, what's special about him, too, as a D2 commit to Lander University, as an attackman, when you're able to keep your feet and turn around and just rip a shot like that, that's special.
Yeah, very special. And now you've got, 4 or 5 different guys who have scored now tonight for Hamilton Southeastern. And, of course, the face-off penalty ended up going over to Hamilton Southeastern, so they have a chance to do 2 in a row right here.
Here's Sundling again. 6 goals for this Hamilton Southeastern squad in that first period, and 1 to go here. There's Caleb Johnson.
You know, we talked about Hamilton Southeastern in the chance I had to do the Carmel game, just how good of a passing team they are. They don't make many mistakes when it comes to this game right here. They are just so efficient, making sure the passes are on target where they need to be.
Sundling got it stripped away. St. Joe ends up picking it up after the clear. I beg your pardon, Sundling's shot actually went wide. And here's Dowdle.
Now you're getting a little bit of that rain that's coming in that we talked about earlier. Did expect maybe we'd get some rain, but it sounds like to me from what you said earlier, maybe not those thunderstorms which caused that delay in our last game against Carmel.
That's right. Yeah, you see the chorus of all the umbrellas coming up there.
Well, the one thing about it, too, the wind is really blowing here tonight. Now, I don't know how that's going to affect these guys with the rain and the wind, but as a player, can't be the most fun thing to be involved in. Maybe can handle the wind for tonight, but the rain, nobody likes that.
Well, thankfully, it's a nice 70 degrees today.
Exactly.
That shot wide, coming off the stick is Sarator. And St. Joe now holding possession. This feels more like the kind of offense they intended to start with today. Coach Margulis wants his guys to hold on to this possession, keep it away from HSC, really.
Well, then again, that's that old adage, your best offense is what you do defensively, but I think right now offensively, now you're going to have to eventually do something here to make an attack go, but again, keeping it out of Hamilton Southeastern's possession is really big, but you got to be productive as well.
That shot wide. Trying to rip that one was Zach Yerger.
Yeah, Kreckler's too good in goal. I mean, you're 25 yards out, 20 yards out, and that's a long shot to make straight on. That's really an easy defense there for Kreckler.
Tough pass to get to Morrell. Fighting for it on the ground. Bodies flying. Loman was trying to get it into Yergler. He's going to try to pick it up again and recover.
As we mentioned in that opening period, is that when you keep pressure on the hands of your opponent, they can't get a shot off, and that's kind of been the case so far in this possession. Is South Bend St. Joe unable to get anything clean, and then they've had a couple of passes go awry, and so they had to reset the offense, and it wasn't clean.
Sarator wide again.
See, with that Hamilton Southeastern defense, Joey, they're forcing them way outside. They can't find a lane right now that they're comfortable attacking, and that's why their shots are coming from 20 yards out.
Yergler tried to shoot, and in front of him was Matthew Retzner, the short stick defensive midfielder.
He might have chopped that one, too, off the turf.
I think so. We did have a broken stick the other night, by the way.
Really? Which is very rare.
Yeah, but a lot of fun to see. So HSC's going to begin their possession here.
I was going to ask you, did you roll up the windows in your Mercedes while you were coming over here?
Yeah, my Mercedes.
Or did you bring your?
I had the butler do it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know because you kind of parked in an exclusive area out there, so I thought maybe you brought the Mercedes tonight.
Yep. The valet and what have you.
Yeah, I saw that guy out there.
Here's Askins working against Morrell. Morrell, a strong defensive midfielder, almost as strong as his offense. Working behind. Here's Gastineau. Up top to Askins. HSC working around. Mataliano again. Sheesh.
You know, I hate to ask you this. Is he left-handed?
Not on the roster.
Well, both those shots are left-hand shots, and he does not miss a beat no matter how many times you checked him. As you get another look at it, he was able to keep his balance once he got past that defenseman right there and even took a shot and went down and still able to score for the second time.
The 16th goal on the season to lead all scorers. And you can hear the Mambo Mataliano that the staff up here seemed to appreciate, apparently, from the other night versus Carmel.
Well, his two goals have been very, very impressive. And you know what really set that up is if you look back at what the transition that they got into the offense, all the passing was crisp, but they seemed to be very quick in everything they wanted to do. And South Bend St. Joe kind of looking around as they just kept moving that ball, and that was really a huge key.
And their ball movement, too, has been crisp. You haven't seen too many errant passes, too many drop passes, a couple here and there. I mean, that's going to happen, right? Especially when you're going in fast break opportunities when normally you're used to this sort of cyclical offense where you're just kind of spinning the ball around. But right at the door to finish it off, that is Brandon Segosio.
Well, again, we'll go back to what we said at the beginning, and Coach Margula said the same thing. They've got to force them to shoot from the outside. If you give them this close range, and we've seen it tonight, they're just too efficient, and if you don't push them outside, get them outside the box even further, they're going to get you about every time. So that's going to be a huge key when they get into the locker room and start talking about this. Coach Margulis is going to say, listen, guys, we got to force them out even further. And that's the way to do it. You're going to have to make them shoot from 20, 25.
And if you can force them to do that, maybe you cause them to make more mistakes. By the way, that is Segosio's first goal of the season. So congratulations to him.
Well, you always want to make the other team do something they're not comfortable doing as you see a flag go down. That's really the key to any sport. You make the other team do stuff they don't like to do. And if you do that, you're probably going to be successful because they're not comfortable in that area. So for South Bend St. Joe, the one thing you'll have to do in the second half is really, really force Hamilton Southeastern to the outside. Now, what adjustments can you do? That's going to be a really, really big key to see how that's going to work.
It's going to be a penalty on HSE. on Hayden Grace and a timeout for St. Joe. We'll take one with them here on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Darengowski. And it has been all HSE so far, but St. Joe, ever since that goal from Aiden Dowdle on that fast break, they've started to flirt with the net a little bit, and they've had a couple errors here and there, but they're mostly just held up defensively, minus a couple goals from Italiano. And this has just been kind of the pace that St. Joe has been looking for in the second quarter, more of what they planned for than before.
Yeah, I think they'd like a little more fast break opportunities, get out on the run a little bit more, but Hamilton Southeastern's had a lot to say about that so far. So if you're going to get stuck running the offense from here, and again, there's another shot beyond the 20, you got to find a way to do what Hamilton Southeastern has been doing so far tonight and get that thing really, really close and get some point-blank shots here before you get to halftime.
Hamilton Southeastern is man down. They've had one successful penalty kill. Kreckler's going to save that one.
He's just too good in the net. I mean, his hands are so quick. I mentioned his up and down portion of what he can do. It's just incredible. That's why they're state champions, and they will make another run this year, and a lot of it will have to do with him. You just can't get anything easy by him.
And he takes up a lot of space. I mean, you talk about Kreckler's athleticism just for his size, right? I mean, he stands at 6'4",
yeah,
and he's got to be just one of the most flexible goalies I've seen of that size.
Yeah, he is, and that's just it. That when you look at him, if you're coming at him as an attackman and thinking, where am I going to shoot it at on him, you're going to have a really good angle on him somehow, or getting to shift his positioning that's going to get him out of position, and they just haven't been able to do that tonight.
Penalty ensuing, a couple flags flying. You know, you'd probably appreciated that the officials were very in unison there in their throw.
We always are. You know, I'm a basketball official, as you know, and
you wish you had a flag to throw.
I wish I had a flag to throw because I'd be throwing a lot of them. So I honestly didn't give one technical this year. And that's hard to believe.
Am I supposed to be proud of you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, once in a while I've thrown one out, but I didn't have any this year.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, you know
I just ask him, do you like coaching? And they'll say yes. And I say, well, you better sit down and shut up because you're not going to be coaching. And they generally do. And I'm trying to be a nice guy about it. I'll let them talk for a little bit if they want to ask me a question. But when they start talking about my mother, I get a little bit upset about that. It's not nice.
Yeah, that is not nice.
Yeah.
And you think coaches, right? I mean, they
got mothers too. You know, I'm talking about their mother.
Yeah. Well, good. You sound like a good mediator there.
And if they met her, they would know she's a nice lady.
Right.
So.
Sundling trying to feed over, and that's going to be deflected away. Runo with a falling attempt. And this is going to be brought out by Theo Mager.
Runo looked like he was taking a home run swing right there. As
he
going
did.
Down.
Taken away, Evan Drost. HSE trying to go ahead and clear.
Now here's key. 1 minute to go, a little over 1 minute. Don't give anything up right now if you're South Bend St. Joe.
Well, here's Garrett Smith, captain and the leader of this HSE offense. Ohio Wesleyan commit. Italiano, though, is the answer for this possession, and he's got his third goal of the half.
Well, they also answered my question, is he right-handed or left-handed? And he was right-handed because he put a blaze on that one. I'm not sure any goalie was going to see that one as you take another look at it. And it was too wide open. You see there was two guys coming, and they were just late. Basically left him one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and that's not fair.
It's certainly not. And he also placed that ball just outside of the goalie stick. That's very tough for Blake Walker to try to handle that.
Well, and that's special because when you look at the shot itself, to be able to do that and find that area, and it's a very small box, no matter how you look at it from that angle, very impressive.
A mere 35 seconds left in this half. Smith around to Sundling. He did drop that ball. Walker picks it up. Possible quick clear here for St. Joe if they can get that possession. Dowdle does take it, but it's immediately jarred loose by Caleb Johnson. Does HSE try to get a goal here? There's Gastineau. Back up top to Smith. Under 10. I think Smith might try to walk this one out or rip a shot. He does. That goes wide. And with 1.4 to go, I ought to think Gastineau here is just going to try to maybe get a quick one. And it's deflected, and we will go to halftime. At the end of the half, HSE leads 10-1. Do not go anywhere for our halftime show in the middle. After our first break, we're going to have the athletic director from St. Joseph on with Troy. And after that, don't go anywhere again because there's going to be nothing but action coming your way here in the second half.
How about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo.
You see my kid?
Yeah,
come on.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Steve Anthony is the athletic director at South Bend St. Joseph. He has made the trip down here to watch the team here tonight. Great to have you with us here at halftime. I think they're only going to leave us about 3 minutes to chat here this evening, so I think they want to beat the rain. But welcome, and great to have you with us here tonight.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's a great environment. I'm new to lacrosse, so this is a great introduction. Certainly seeing a really strong team in Hamilton Southeastern, but I like what our coach is trying to do in coming down and playing this match, so it's exciting to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to South Bend?
Well, I came to South Bend, St. Joe, 9 months ago. I arrived last June after 25 years plus of experience at the collegiate level. Got involved in college athletics, coaching women's soccer at Valparaiso University. Did that for about 10 years, and then I was promoted into athletic administration for another 10, and then recruited away to Michigan State University, where I was for the last 4 years. Had an opportunity to come to St. Joe, really felt good about the opportunity to step into an athletic director role, have a platform to be really influential and impactful in helping young adults at St. Joseph. And I just really believe in the mission about the mission of the school and the environment. It's a wonderful place to be.
Tell us a little bit about, from the athletic side, tell us a little bit about South Bend St. Joe and what you've seen so far.
Well, again, just a wonderful environment, terrific culture, very supportive administration for athletics. Really enjoy working with Principal John Kennedy and the administrative team, and wonderful community and a lot of support for all of our athletic teams. And what I like about it is I really inherited this culture of treating our club teams like varsity teams.
Yeah.
So with the boys and girls lacrosse and our hockey program, the previous administration, the previous athletic director, Deb Brown, and my current assistant, John Gump, really took on the attitude that, hey, these teams are our student athletes, and just because it's a club sport, we're still going to support them. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come down for the road trip tonight.
And I understand maybe we'll be working together in the future with SRN.
I really hope so. I mean, I'm talking to Coach about a partnership with SRN, and I'm really impressed with the production tonight. Part of the reason I also wanted to come down is to meet everyone and get a feel for the partnership that we can create. So I'm excited about having you guys come up and partner with St. Joe Athletics and be a part of our sports next academic year.
We're looking forward to it as well. Sorry we didn't get as much time as they kind of shifted on us from 10 to 5, but thanks for stopping by, and nice to meet you, and good luck in the future, okay?
Thank you very much for hosting.
We'll come back as we continue, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
I get her, not solo.
You see if I did it?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Darengowski. You just heard the great interview with Athletic Director of St. Joe, Stephen Anthony, and he has been wonderful to us so far. Getting to meet him has been a lot of fun, and learning about St. Joe athletics.
Well, the nice thing, and I hope the partnership does come through, because it really is a nice thing for the student athletes, just like when we're able to come here tonight and showcase both of these teams. I know coaches that are at the collegiate level or those that are scouting these teams really like it as well, because, you know, budgets don't always afford you to go to a lot of places, and sometimes being able to watch it, you can learn a lot just by watching the broadcast itself.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern jumped out to a 6-0 lead after the first period with an additional 4 goals. But South Bend St. Joe got on the board. Aiden Dowdle on the run. In transition, it was a sweet shot, but we've had a myriad of different types of goals that we've seen tonight. Out to Mataliano. Has a little bit of trouble handling that one. Speaking of Mataliano, he had a hat trick in that second quarter alone.
Mataliano had the 3, and then Sunling had 3. Smith had a goal. Johnson had a goal. Runau had a goal. They had about 5 or 6 different guys who ended up scoring in that first half, and you know, that's pretty much usual for Hamilton Southeastern. They got all kinds of guys that can put that ball in the net, and what you see tonight is something you see a lot.
And they've been rather unselfish with the ball, too. The person with the best shot has taken the best shot. Speaking of, Connor Runo takes that best shot right in front. and no doubter.
It was, yeah, and it was another instance there. We got a close shot, and you'll see it again right here. How close is he? He was within, 10 yards? Just actually 6 yards from the shot. So you got a really good look right there. And they were patient on offense. When you're up 9 goals, 10 goals, you can be more patient and really work things, because the coach will tell you a lot of times, let's work on some of the things we need to do in the future in case the game is close, and we've got to really fine-tune some things, and that's what they will end up doing the rest of the way, is working on some of their weaknesses.
Connor Runo, 4 goals in the season debut at Carmel last year. He had a broken tibia during football season. Came back in 6 months. He's back to full contact and strength, and Scott Beasley likes to have captains of each position group, right? He's the captain of the midfield position. And it's for plays like that where he's able to just kind of sneak in there and be a threat from anywhere.
You know, it's amazing as you see Hamilton Southeastern. What a save that time.
Ouch. I'm having some bad memories come back to mind after watching that ball ricochet.
And I think it's Parker in goal,
head.
Right? Is that Parker in goal
That
this
is
time?
Parker and Marion Parker in goal.
Now, you were talking about the broken leg, and when athletes get hurt these days, they're able to come back so much stronger and so much quicker because of all the technology we have. When I was growing up, you broke something, you were done for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was definitely thankful for that. I luckily never had any broken bones, but we had good teammates who had broken bones, right, and they were able to make speedy recoveries. Amazing what Runo's been able to do. Italiano, that one gets deflected away.
You know, we were talking, Joey, earlier about watching the game tonight and being able to go back and watch it anytime you want as a coach, too. And, I mean, I've been out of coaching for a while, but there was a time when I was doing it, you had VHS tapes, and if you wanted to see another team, you had to meet someplace and at a truck stop on the interstate and exchange film and do it that way. But nowadays, I don't have to do any of that. So you guys have it so much easier.
So
today.
much easier.
Yes.
And so do the fans. You know, you can watch any IndianaSRN replay on YouTube or IndianaSRN.org. We're also live on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube most of the time. So it's one of those things that you just love to see, that you can just have it on demand at any time, especially if you're unable to catch the beginning of the game. There's going to be a flag down here as the scrum left Garrett Smith on the turf.
Yeah, I think he took a shot from behind, and he was kind of slow to get up. I think is it 31 I'm looking at right there? I'm not sure who it is that was starting to walk off. That's a little bit. I didn't bring my binoculars, and I'm really kind of behind the 8 ball here. I don't have those nice eyes, young eyes you guys have. You know, you were mentioning
Hayden. No, you're right. I think that is 31. That would be. Nope.
Well, let's see.
38.
38.
That is Quinn Boyer.
Okay, so it's 38.
So this will be the first man down set for St. Joe. Back up to Gastineau. And this is part of the par for the course, really, when you're man up trying to circle it around for the best shot. Italiano fires, and that's going to go over the net.
Well, I know so much more pressure put on a team that, like South Bend St. Joe, now they got to play a little more zone right here to try to take care of their area, and that'll leave some wide open spots too. So you got to really move on defense right here.
Here's Runo. Smith to Sunling, working behind X. That shot blocked in front.
Now, if you want to make Hamilton Southeastern shoot from further out, that's exactly what you do right there. And boy, he better hurry and get back.
Yeah, he needs to. I think there was some good stick checking there. Carter Michaels. I beg your pardon, that was Anderson Davis got in the way there. And so while this penalty is close to being killed, Italiano rips another one.
Well, Parker ended up getting out of the cage, and he was going after that loose ball, hoping he'd get it, and he took a shot down there, and by that time, which was really good, South Bend St. Joe recovered. They had 2 guys standing in front of the cage there, and that helped. So,
and a successful penalty kill as well.
Yeah.
Huge. Sunling working behind X.
You know, you're mentioning the broadcast and everything, and I know you'll talk more about some of the games that are coming up, but everything that we do is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime to watch any of the games. Go back and watch it a million times if you want to, and it's all absolutely free.
Garrett Smith taking advantage of a little bit of free space that he had there to try to get a goal, and he was successful.
Well, I tell you, and I'm not sure that Coach Margulis, and of course they're going to play tomorrow, and that's the nice thing about it. When you play another game tomorrow, they'll get back on the bus, and I mean, they're not far down the road at Westfield, so they'll have to do it again. But you don't have a lot of time to think about this one now. You got to get right back on your horse and ride it one more time for tomorrow. And then when you're done in these 3 games, is then you can maybe evaluate them all together instead of maybe one by one. I think that's what he'll do. And he's getting a really good look at all 3 keepers here tonight, just kind of see how they'll react.
This is the second day on a stretch of 3 days with games. They played Adams last night, South Bend Bears, and they defeated them.
Well, you know, we talked in the basketball season, Coach and I did a weekly basketball show, and I don't know how many times I saw teams that were a 1A, 2A playing a really, really challenging 3A, 4A schedule. And what did they do at the end of the year? They ended up winning. I know you got a penalty flag right here, but they ended up winning. They might have went into the tournament with 8 or 9 losses. Didn't matter to them because they made a deep run, and a couple of them won it, regional championships, semi-state championships, got into the championship game simply because they played such a good schedule. And I think that you got to give credit to South Bend St. Joseph. Hey, we can play around the South Bend area and beat everybody, but what are you going to do when you come out here and play really, really good teams?
And I think that I think your point is very, very right on, because if you have this litmus test, right, I mean, you're playing a team that not only won state last year but handled themselves really well in that state game and have handled themselves well when they played these out-of-state games this year. If you understand what you've done well, including that, a great goal, Jack Ploman, the attack midfielder combo, launches one, and that's going to be the second goal for South Bend St. Joe. If you can do those types of things versus a Hamilton Southeastern or a Westfield tomorrow, right, this is going to be all the things that you need to improve to try to make a deep run.
Well, then what you do as a coach is you take those things. You're still going to talk about some of the things you didn't do very well, but you don't really go, hey, listen, I'm going to beat you over the head with it. You find the positives and say, look, guys, here's what we did here, here, and here. Now, if we keep doing that, we're going to find a way to win a lot more games, and kind of take those points that you didn't do as well and set them aside and really try to play it up as much as you can to give your team more confidence. By the way, if you missed it, there was another home run at that softball game over there. The wind was blowing out the first time, and whoever that was hit a gargantuan home run. That one was a 2-run shot. So they're hitting like Joey does when he plays our company softball games.
What are you talking about? I just bunt. Me and Keith.
We have a softball team that is really second to none only because Joey hits cleanup, and he always – just, you're amazing.
It's one of the, Troy, I learned from the best. That's you.
Well, and we put Keith on the bench because we don't want him anywhere out
there.
No,
we let him slow pitch.
Yeah, he's the manager, and that's about it. So.
Right.
In his heyday was okay, but that was a long time ago.
Up top, Hamilton Southeastern. Going to work it around and try to build on their lead.
Well, I think, as I said a little bit ago, this is kind of what you do now. You're going to say, all right, what can we work on right here that we really want to emphasize not only tonight but the rest of the season?
Cal Trott had the chance there out front. And a bit of a scrum at the crease. It's going to be a violation on HSE, and St. Joe is going to take it.
Had a really good cut to the cage. Only problem was unable to handle the high pass, and if he would have caught it clean, he would have had a really, really good look at a goal.
The ride this year from Hamilton Southeastern has been special, but St. Joe gets the better half of on this one. And by the way, you mentioned Basketball Weekly a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a Lacrosse Weekly podcast show starting this Sunday. This Monday will come out and air. Long pass. That one's retrieved by Matthew Braz.
My only question is, are you guys going to do the video side, or are you just going to do audio?
Just audio to begin.
Come on.
I know. I prodded and advertised, wrote a whole presentation to try to get video. We're working on it. It's in the
Okay.
works.
All right.
It's in the works.
Now, who's making the final decision on that?
Not me.
You're just one of the minions that throws out the idea, right? I think you got to do video. I mean,
I agree. It'd be a lot of fun. But at the very least, we're going to be able to talk to some great coaches from around the state, including Scott Beasley from Hamilton Southeastern, Jack Meacham from Carmel, Sam Margulis from St. Joe, Charlie Berry from Guerin Catholic. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, are you doing most of the work on this, or is Keith going to?
You and I are, brother.
Me and you?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Big hit from St. Joe. That was Anderson Davis, but Sunling ends up picking up the ground ball.
You know, you might tell somebody to fill me in on these things before you spring it on me.
I just like to spring it on you during live broadcasts. That's my favorite thing.
Thanks.
Sunling behind. Wow, what a nifty cross pass. That's going to be over the top. Caleb Johnson firing that one. That pass is very hard to make, especially through that forest of sticks.
Yeah, that's real tough. And well, I tell you what, Johnson had another really good look. He has one of those flamethrowers, you might say, when he shoots. It's really, really mostly on target and hard to see.
Sunling's shot goes wide. There's going to be a push with possession on Austin Futa. That'll send him to the box and give St. Joe the man down. HSC the man up.
And you got a line change coming here for Hamilton Southeastern. I would imagine at some point you'll see, some of the guys who don't get as much playing time normally will get more time here as we continue. I know they want to get this thing going as quickly as they can. We understand there's some pretty good storms coming here, so you want to get this completed quickly, but you want to get your kids in there to play as well.
St. Joseph High School provides an award-winning, affordable Catholic education that prepares students for their college and their careers. Thanks to school choice expansion, tuition is more affordable than ever. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjoehigh.com. Over here, Askins to Metaliano, and it feels like HSC just kind of taking their time, being patient, looking for that right shot. They find it, Gastineau, but what a save by Parker. We saw him playing in that JV game earlier today, and that's just barring because they don't have as many goalies. They don't have the luxury of having too many goalies to play both JV and varsity. But as they're trying to find, their guy, it feels like Parker, having played in that JV game, still warm, able to make a few saves here.
Well, he's quick, too, and you notice the last shot that he saved right there. I mean, he got his hands up really quickly, and there he goes down on it, too. So that's actually the easier of the two. Going up on it's the harder one. He did a great job. So I would say early on he's got a couple of things to work on here, but other than that, he's played well.
Well, that was great work there to take that, go down to his knees athletically and try to make that save. He does.
Well, like I said, not a big guy when you think about the size we have seen already tonight in Kreckler, and we're kind of used to seeing him. But again, if he can work those hands pretty well and keep his concentration against a good team like Hamilton Southeastern, he'll be in good shape. I'd like to see him, if I'm coach, I'd like to see him maybe come back, get a goal right there, come back and play again in the fourth.
Connor Runo with his second of the day. Right at the door.
Now another close shot again. You'll take a look at it right here, and really the defense slide was not fast enough. Guy was playing right in the middle, and he had just a little advantage off to the left and left him wide open, almost a one-on-one situation there against the keeper and Parker.
A lot of strong goalkeeping there for Parker, but they finally get the best of him. You'd like to see St. Joe on the prowl here. A couple of goals to their credit. Picked up immediately by Ian Bones. Is this going to be a face-off violation? It is going to be against Bones. And here comes St. Joe. A lot of pressure here. Tried to keep it in his stick. That was number 20, Max Marquez. And up to Sunling. HSE goes. And lost the handle on it. He's trying to pick up that GB. He does find it. And it's going to be a loose ball push on St. Joe. A couple of tight calls here. The final 1:10 of this third quarter. How's our weather report looking, Troy?
It's not looking good right at the moment. I mean, we're going to be really cutting it very close. One thing we won't be able to do is probably get you to your Mercedes dry, so I would be prepared to have some rain on.
That's why I have the Butler.
Yes.
Umbrella.
He's going to drive up here and pick you up.
That's right. Good thing I brought my rain jacket. Oops.
I don't think there's any doubt about it whatsoever that what I'm looking at right here is we'll get this in, and hopefully we won't see anything here within the next 20 minutes or so. But
up top, Jack Plowman, who had his goal earlier, launches another one. And that is going to be saved. Eli Buck. And he's been in net. I haven't given him quite the credit in this third quarter yet. He's been playing since the beginning. He hasn't had too much action. And that's going to wind down the third quarter after the save from Buck as Hamilton Southeastern tries to clear. 13-2, our count here in Fishers. Do not go anywhere. Fourth quarter upcoming, and likely a quick one with the Storm brewing here on IndianaSRN, the exclusive home of Indiana Lacrosse.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern. Joey Lindstrom alongside Troy Darren-Gowski. St. Joseph High School is a Catholic honor roll school that prepares students for life. Graduates are faithful, resilient, and ready for their future. Learn more about joining the St. Joe family by visiting stjohigh.com. And news to all of you and my partner in this, Troy Darren-Gowski. Lacrosse Weekly will start next Monday, and we'll have Scott Beasley on from HSE as our guest. Quick 30-minute show to get you started on your Monday, recap the weekend's action and last week's action as well.
What if I'm working Monday?
We're going to record on Sunday. Don't tell anybody, though. You'll have plenty of time to go out.
Did you talk to my agent about this? Because I don't think he knows. You know, a lot of people don't know that at IndianaSRN, the talent, we get a clothing fee, too. So if our clothes get wet tonight, we'll be in good shape.
Ground ball picked up by St. Joe. You might get that. You might get that fee. I don't know about it. I don't know.
Well, mine is a lot cheaper than yours. I wear shorts and a T-shirt. You got those nice shoes on.
I come from the day job.
Yes, that's true. And you're going to say next, if you just had a day job, you might be able to wear some of these clothes.
Troy, I'll give you my shoes anytime. Right at the door.
There you go.
Score for St. Joe, Joseph Sarator.
Well, and he's a guy that we talked about earlier coming in, if I'm not mistaken, at 14 goals. And that was a really, really nicely executed play, and you really couldn't ask. That's probably the best play they've had all night. I know they had the breakaway earlier in the ball game that got one of their goals, but that one was really well executed.
That play felt very fluid. It felt as if they were just relaxed and playing their game that they know how to play.
Yeah, because a lot of times when they play in that, what I call the half court, the half offensive, they just don't seem to be as fluid as they are when they're moving. You know, some teams like to run and score, and other ones are a lot better in the half court, but when it comes to tonight, they just look better when they're running.
A great offensive possession there for St. Joe. But Hamilton Southeastern is going to continue to work it around. We got 11 minutes left before certain doom via a thunderstorm. So we'll see if we can if we have our perfect timing here.
You know, I like Hamilton Southeastern from a defensive standpoint. As you see, they're on the attack once again. Is that almost another goal right there? But the one thing that they've been able to do, I talk about the defense. You look at South Bend St. Joseph, 15, 16, 15, 13, 12 goals in their games this year. I mean, it's just holding them to 3 is really an accomplishment on the other side.
It sure is. This high-powered offense, they've been studded all year, right? I mean, average goal differential of 7 per game in their wins. It's just crazy. So for Hamilton Southeastern, they've done well on the defensive side. And in the second half, I got to say St. Joe has done a great job as well.
Yeah.
Really keeping them to below what I think their potential may have been in the first half.
Well, and you look at a couple of their wins, talking about South Bend St. Joe, they beat a Fishers team 12-11, and that's a big win for them. They ended up beating Noblesville, and as you mentioned, they beat South Bend Adams by 10. So that Fishers team gave them everything they wanted, and that's another really good lacrosse team.
Yeah, when you play those tough schedules, too, it gets you ready. Just like we talked about earlier, gets you ready for tourney time.
Well, you can play that fool's gold game, and I call it fool's gold if you play somebody that just isn't very good. Now, I'm not saying you have to play top 10 team every week, but I think you got to play a schedule that's really balanced. Maybe 75% of the time play somebody really good, then 25% you give yourself a little bit of a break here and there, and you get some of your players a chance to play a little bit more. But that fool's goal to kill you at the end, you end up trying to cash in late, and you find it wasn't for real, and the next thing you knew, you're out of the tournament in one game.
St. Joe has another successful clear. Here's Tobolski. Again, had 5 goals last game. He's been shut out so far until now. Jack Tobolski. And he sure needed that as well as St. Joe. Big-time goal to get them to their 4th.
Now take another look at it. Only a sophomore did that nice job getting him a really good angle to the right. And as you said, he had the big game last night, did an excellent job there, and I'm pretty sure, unless we got a timeout right here, which I'm assuming we do, and we do, I think.
A timeout on the field means a timeout for us as well. You're watching Indiana High School Lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you can be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Hamilton Southeastern leads 13-4. After that goal by Jack Tobolski, excuse me.
So is his name easier to say than mine, or because we're both Polish, and so you know he's going to excel tonight being Polish?
Yeah.
So.
The skis sometimes are hard.
Yeah.
Well, I got yours right after about 5 tries.
Thank you. Yeah, Keith still hasn't gotten it down totally yet. But.
Keith can't do my name either very well. Lindstrom is hard to say sometimes when you're speaking fast.
Lindstrom?
Yeah, Swedish. You know.
You think that's hard to say fast?
It's just 2 syllables, I know, but you know. Darren Gowski, a lot more fun to say. This is going to be a push with possession.
You know, I used to be able to get away with telling people I was like a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns back in the 60s.
Yeah.
But now they can look it up, and time was they couldn't look at that stuff. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or they didn't care. Or they couldn't remember by the time they got home what the name was anyway. So.
Well, St. Joe's going to be a man down here.
Well, their objective now in the last 8:56 here is, again, work on everything you possibly can. That's going to be something you could build on for tomorrow, because now conditions are going to change tomorrow too, because as you know, we're in Indiana today at 77. Tomorrow it'll be 40, so they'll have to get used to that tomorrow as well.
Yep, they travel back again to Westfield. Sunling, that ball went actually wide of the cage, surprisingly, or over. He's going to pop it over Mataliano, who paints the top corner.
Come on.
Michael Mataliano.
There is no way, and I hope we'll see this again, there is no way he should have gotten that in there. That's his second time that he's hit just a very small area. Look at that.
Hole shot. Those are the kind of shots that you just practice in your backyard over and over again. You get a bucket of lacrosse balls, and you just aim for the same spot every single time.
Well, he's good at it, and you can see why he is as good as he is. That's just crazy, crazy shot right there.
14-4 our count, 8:35 to go here at HSE. An illegal procedure. Somebody left earlier, heard the ref say. And all that means is that somebody crossed that 30-yard line from St. Joe.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. A bit ticky-tack, and that's coming from an official.
I know. But you know as well as I do, late in the game, we're going to call everything.
Right. Well, regardless, gives Hamilton Southeastern that possession. A scoring update for tonight. Carmel has defeated Guerin Catholic 17-6. So Carmel, coming off that loss against HSE, came out firing right away against a 1A opponent. The 1A defending state champion, by the way, who defeated this St. Joe team last season on this field.
You know, I have a feeling.
Just by one goal, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I have a feeling that Carmel team, though they lost Hamilton Southeastern the first time, they may be seeing each other on this field again come state championship time, because they'll get much better by the time the season goes along.
Well, the landscape right now, is just crazy. Hamilton Southeastern has the best schedule, has the hardest schedule in the state, given their out-of-state little round robin there. But at the same time, Cathedral is up there as well. You got Carmel, and any of these 2A contenders, or any of these 2A teams could be contenders too if they make a deep run. This is still early in the season. We're only 5 or 6 games in.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, but if I'm not mistaken, that's not till June, beginning of June.
Right.
So we still have April and May before these teams get to the playoffs and see what they can do from there. But you're right, we got a long way to go, but it'll be fun to watch the progression, just see how each team gets better. Make sure you check out their schedules too, because I think most of the teams on their school website have their schedule available. Get out and see a game one of these times if you don't understand the game very much, and I'm learning still a lot, things that you tell me and things that I watch out here that, it's really a fun game to watch once you begin to understand it a lot more.
It sure is. And you can find all that information about schedules and what have you, not only on the websites, but also on IHSLA.org. And it'll have all the information, all the stats from the season, all league leaders. If you also want rankings and ratings and what have you, laxnumbers.com. Just find Indiana in there, and you'll get all of the information you need. Certainly helps broadcast prep, too.
It does, and we put, in fact, IndianaSRN.org, my website as well, we put a column where we have all the high school sports down there, and we've got lacrosse on there as well.
Perfect.
So if you don't remember all that, just go to our website.
It works. A few shots have been taken since we've been chatting, and a couple off the post, Loudon Sunling, as well as Askins and Runo. Runo's going to take another one. It's going to be saved by Parker. He's been very, very sound back there in the cage, given the situation especially. Your team's down by a lot, and he's just been very, very solid. Launches this one, unfortunately, for St. Joe on their clear.
And that's one thing that I think you're right. He's done a really good job. He was seeing some nice saves. The one thing I'd like to see him do then is work his passing, because he's made a couple of missed passes trying to get the lead, and he's just been off target right there. But that'll come with time and experience.
And he's a senior this year, so he's looking to obviously make himself the premier keeper in between the sticks there.
Well, I think right now, if I were to choose the 3, he might be on top. But again, we'll see. It would be interesting to see what South Bend St. Joe will do tomorrow. Will they continue to rotate? When they go to Westfield, will they say, listen, we're going to go with 1 or 2 and just kind of go from there?
I think that ball went off the post as well. HSE is going to be offside, so this is going to be St. Joe's ball. Scooping it for him and running down is Charlie Eckrich. In transition to Morrell. He's being chased down by 2 HSE defenders.
Well, Hayden Grace did a nice job keeping Morrell in front of him. I know Morrell tried to put a move on him and juke him one way, but he didn't bite on it at all. Really forced South Bend St. Joe to reestablish their offense and reset it out front.
Yeah, he was holding on to his pocket there. Shot wide. That is going to be saved. Eli Buck, his 3rd save of the half.
Well, you got a little line change going here, so guys coming in and out. Hamilton Southeastern once again working that thing behind the cage, and they do this so well because, again, we talked about their passing attack earlier. So, and again, they can afford to be patient. Don't need to score again. They can work on some things they want to try to work on right here in this offensive possession.
Johnson stripped loose. Nice defensive play by Jack Halfpenny. Anderson Davis. Player is down on the ground. I can't quite tell who that is. Looks like a cramp.
Well, he got tied up, if I'm not mistaken, with Caleb Johnson. And Johnson, I think, either landed on some part of him or whatever the case was. They got tangled up, and they were a little slow to get up. Johnson did get up, and again, we can't see who the young man is. He did not get up, but I think he got kind of tangled up right there.
Well, while he is attended to by athletic trainers, we're going to take a quick break here on Indiana SRN. Be back very soon. Resuming action here at Hamilton Southeastern. Player for St. Joe got up just fine. It'll be all right. Stepping out of bounds. Hayden Hubbard with just 3:30 to go here. Hamilton Southeastern was well in control from the start. 6 goals to open in that first quarter. And he flags down.
Well, Joe, I'll say it again. When you think about South Bend St. Joseph, they knew coming in, you talked to the coach, and he had a game plan. Here's what we want to do. Here's what we know we have to do if we're going to win. He knew the odds was against them because you're playing the defending state champions. They're playing at their place. But it's really more of now a situation where now you build on this one for tomorrow. You take tomorrow, you take last night, you take tonight. Again, you combine them all. And you kind of say, here's what we really do well, and we're going to focus on that on our next contest and really focus on the rest of the way. There is a lot to build on for them tonight, no doubt about it whatsoever. And they're going to be very good the rest of the way, and they're going to be in the running when it's all said and done. Especially if they figure out what they want to do in goal. I know they always say in football, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. I don't know if that's always necessarily true anymore because I've seen teams win with the ability to switch quarterbacks. You see another goal there.
Connor Runo again. That's his 3rd of the day. Another hat trick for a Hamilton Southeastern Royal.
Long blast that time from about 25, so that was excellent shooting right there.
Was.
But again, you got to settle that issue. Who's going to be the number one? Who's going to get the most time? And then you get the most reps in practice too, and that'll make a difference.
Well, not only that, it also goes to show who's the best, who can command that defense back there, right? Like to go off that football analogy, that goalie is the quarterback of the defense. He's demanding of where people need to go at what time and when to slide, when to make adjacent slides, who's number one, who's the second slide, what have you. And not only that, he's also running the clear. He's that general back there. So it's certainly a question that definitely needs an answer. For these guys, South Bend St. Joe, that is, they're going to travel to Westfield tomorrow. And then after spring break, they're going to have a long break, in fact. Next game is not till Wednesday, April 13th. They're going to be up in Michigan playing Vicksburg. And then followed by Culver Military Academy, hosting them and Guerin Catholic. And then they'll be at Northridge and Marion.
Yeah, so they've got some really strong games coming up here in their schedule. So again, in the next, even when they get back from spring break, they won't take a lot of time off, believe me. They'll get a few days, I'm sure, in there, but they're going to get right back at it and get ready. Because once they get in that April and May schedule, before you know it, we'll be in playoff time, and they're going to have to be ready, so that'll go pretty quick.
Caleb Johnson's shot gets deflected in front. And under 2.5 to go now. Picked up by Gastineau. Made a man miss. Shot. That one's going to be deflected in front. Rebounded and a lot of physicality underneath. Eckrich on the run now. Bowling through a couple of the riders for Hamilton Southeastern. Go ahead, big fella.
Well, you better hold on to it, too.
Huge off-ball hit, a loose ball hit, rather. It's that one's going to be penalized for that one. Possible unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, according to the official.
Yeah, I think he said something to one of the Hamilton Southeastern players that was going by, and unfortunately said it where the official could see and hear what he was saying, so that's why he got the second flag. And I'm sure it's just a little bit of frustration. You know, you try to find a lane, you get bumped a little bit, and then you get hit a little bit harder, and then you lose the ball, you get frustrated, and you're down by 11, so it doesn't help a lot there too. So one thing you want to do, and then you'll tell the player, you got to keep your emotions in check, because we might be in a game where it's 15-14, and we can't afford to have that penalty late.
Right, definitely got to be able to control it. But at the same time, given the score, could be a frustration, no doubt. It's a couple more unsportsmanlikes there. Going to be unreleasable.
I got to ask a little bit about your resume, too. I mean, you were a defenseman, right?
That's right. Averaged a penalty per game.
Yeah,
half a penalty.
So you're kind of the goon of the group there, right?
I wouldn't say goon, more the enforcer.
Oh, the enforcer.
Yeah.
Goon sounds a little not quite politically correct, right? Like they do in hockey.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is the fastest sport on 2 feet.
That's right.
We'll keep it here. Let's talk about this HSE squad while they're on our screen. Coming up here, they're going to have spring break, and then they don't play again until Wednesday, April 13th. I think that is a statewide association sort of. That's when the schedule resumes. They're going to host Noblesville at that time. Then they're going to go to Center Grove, host Brownsburg, and then they got a tough one against Cathedral on April 22nd. And after that, they're going to travel all the way up to play Brother Rice, one of the best teams in Michigan and in the Midwest as well. They just got done on that road trip to Michigan, played Forest Hill Central, which is a top 10 team in the Midwest as well, and they ended up losing that game by about 3 goals.
Yeah.
By exactly 3 goals. So, you look at this team and you think, man, we talked to Scott Beasley a lot about this too when we were chatting with him before that Carmel game before it got rained out. Their schedule is indicative of how strong they want to be, right? And so they're going to keep trying to play those tough teams. And very similar to St. Joe, how St. Joe wants to take on some of the Bears in this state, right? They want to get as good, if not better, and prove why they deserve to be in the conversation and possibly even move a class up in a couple of years, right?
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. And as a player, if you are somebody who likes to be the best and you want to play the best, the one thing about it, when you go home at night, you can say, you know what? We played somebody really, really, really good, and whether we win or lose, at least we know we played somebody good. I mean, I know you played college football, and when you played somebody, you wanted to show them how good you could be.
Right.
And, I mean, that's the standard we set. and you hope that the standard will stay there, that you want to beat everybody, and this certainly is a goal. And as a coach, again, you want to see where you guys are. I've never been one of those to say, well, let's just play an easy schedule and win 20 games in a season and then lose in the first round of the tournament, because it's not a whole lot of fun, because that makes for one really long off season.
Right, right.
You might as well see where you're at each and every game. Like I said, you can't play top 10 teams every week, but I don't think there's anything wrong with playing really, really, really good teams, and knowing that when you and I here in June, and we look back at their schedule and go, wow, then we know how they got that good.
Exactly. And sometimes those losses, and if the record does not always indicate how good or bad a team is, right? I mean, they have that winning record, but they have a few key losses against good teams. That actually stands out more than if they just blew everybody out.
Well, and I'll give you one example, and it doesn't fit them every year, but you look at Cathedral football, and they'll play all these great teams, and they get in the tournament, and they're like 5-4, and everybody goes 5-4, and then they run the table. Well, now you know why they ran the table.
Yeah, exactly. Out front, Parker was in the way. I think that shot did go wide off the stick of Askins.
I know they're a team that plays a lot out down in Cincinnati and Moeller and teams like that are football powerhouses, and I know a lot of times they don't win all those games, but again, when it comes to the end of the year, they just make it look easy, and you think 5-4, and they win 5 straight games in the tournament.
Yeah, what's up with that?
They got rings, and the other teams don't.
Askins not able to haul that one in. Final 20. Ooh, very tough hit. Sunling hits Theo Mager. Trying to go for that ball, and with 15 seconds to go, obviously not a play you would want to make, right? But
yeah.
Sunling's going to be sent to the box. Had such a great game tonight. 3 goals to his credit, all happening in the first half.
I'll give credit to the young man from South Bend, St. Joe. He took a shot, and he's hurting a little bit, but he got back up, and he's going to continue playing. And, boy, give a young man like that a lot of credit, because that was a heck of a shot.
Yeah, Mager is a tough dude there, number 9 for St. Joe.
Now, I would be laying there, and probably we would be into the rain by the time that you recovered me. So,
Sarator. That one's going to be deflected and fly out of bounds. And here's the last-ditch effort for St. Joe. That one flying into the air, and our final score is going to be 15-4 in favor of the Royals of Hamilton Southeastern. Troy Derengowski, your final thoughts.
Well, I think what we saw tonight is not exactly always what we expected, but from a Hamilton Southeastern side, you really got a good look for you fans up there in South Bend, just how good they are. They can do offense, they can do defense, they love to run, they can play half, they can do just about everything, they pass well. But I think if you're South Bend St. Joe, you've got a lot of positives there to build on. I mean, I know you look at the 4 goals, you only got 4 against a team like this, but they did some things when they were doing it right, and they had a couple of really nice fast breaks and were out on the run. That's, I think, the kind of game they want to play. If they can do that, they're going to be really successful. Got to settle on the goalie. We know that already. And then they got to play a little bit better in the half, because a lot of times they passed around, turned it over, and they can't do that against good teams.
We're going to have to see if both these teams ends up on this field in their respective Class State championships come the end of the year. Great analysis by you tonight, brother.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure
Good to
working
see you
with
as well.
For Nick Lewis, our cameraman, for Ben Wood, our producer, for Troy Derengowski, our analyst, and for Stephen Anthony, our special guest, the athletic director for this St. Joe squad out of South Bend, I'm Joey Lindstrom. Thank you so much for joining us for this presentation of Indiana High School Lacrosse, the IHSLA. This is the exclusive home of Indiana High School Lacrosse. We thank you for joining us. Please have a pleasant and great evening.